Here's that secret ingredient. Let's make some deviled eggs. I have 8 eggs, tablespoon of softened butter, and it's unsalted. Going to be using some mustard, some mayonnaise. My family has always used Hellmann's. Some salt, some pepper, the paprika. That's what I forgot. I usually prepare the yolks in my food processor, but I decided not to. And here's a secret ingredient, which I will reveal when I add it to the mixture. But first, I have to cut the eggs in half. And here's my little deviled egg tray. I think I got it off Amazon a few years ago. I do like the tray, but it's a little hard to close and open and unlock. Here I am again, always forgetting stuff. One of these days I'm going to do a video where I have everything there that I need. One day. As Jesse Jackson said, keep hope alive. My cutting board. And I'm just going to cut each egg. Empty the yolk into the bowl here. And I cook these eggs in my Instapot. I put them on high pressure and I pressure cook them for 6 minutes. I let them naturally release for 6 minutes, and then I put them in cold water for at least 6 minutes. And I have found that when you cook your eggs in the Instapot, they are so easy to peel, and they just come out perfectly. Matter of fact, my sister, she wanted some boiled eggs for her salad, and I actually made 12 eggs, and she took 4 and left 8 for the deviled eggs for us. And she actually peeled them for me. She was like, wow, it was so easy. I said, I told you so. I remember one of the first times I made deviled eggs, I cut them the wrong way. I cut them the other way. And I was like, as I was doing it, I was like, why do these eggs look different? Because I didn't cut them the long way. I cut them the other way. Lesson learned. And the recipe I'm following, besides that secret ingredient, is from Martha Stewart. Her secret ingredient is that tablespoon of softened butter. And that butter, because I decided to make these late in the day, I didn't have a chance to leave the butter out on the counter, so I just softened it in the microwave for a little bit. And I got them all cut. All the yolks are out. Now we just start assembling the deviled egg part, which is my favorite part. I like mine to have a little tang, so I tend to use a little bit of extra mustard. And I'll link the Martha Stewart recipe down below. One thing that I do differently, besides my secret ingredient, is she uses kosher salt. I just use table salt. And here I'm trying to break up the yolks. I should have done that first before I even added the butter, but it worked out okay because the butter was really softened and it mixed okay in there, but I should have broke those yolks up before. And again, this is easier if you use it in your food processor. The reason I didn't do that is I didn't feel like cleaning a food processor because, you know, all the food or whatever you're processing in it gets all gunked up in the blades, and it's just a pain to clean sometimes. So I just said I'll do it in the bowl. This is a 1/4 cup measuring spoon. In Martha Stewart's recipe, she does use a 1/4 cup of mayo. Of course, her recipe is based on 6 eggs and I have 8. And I have found that deviled eggs is one of those recipes that you really, as you're making it, you have to taste it and see if it's where you like. Do you like it to be really creamy, you know, more mayonnaise, or do you want it to have some tang with the more mustard? See, I forgot my spatula. Again, I always forget stuff when I'm in the kitchen cooking. I have a lot of spatulas, but I'm going to tell you, this one, like purplish, bluish spatula is my favorite. I think we all have our favorite utensils if you're in the kitchen long enough. Now, in Martha Stewart's recipe, she doesn't, I hate nasty hands, that's why I was wiping my hand off. She doesn't really give you a measurement for how much salt and pepper, so again, it's just a taste. So I'm just putting a couple pinches of salt there. And my pepper, later on you'll see I'm going to add more, because when I use pepper, I don't really use it to make it spicy or hot, because I like spicy food and I've eaten it so long. Black pepper is not really spicy to me. But I do want to be able to see the black pepper. I want to see the seasoning of it in my food. So that's why I decided later on to add a little bit more. Now I'm just combining what I've added so far. And you can see that I'm mashing it with the fork to break up the yolks some more, because again, I should have really broke those yolks up before I added anything to make it a little bit easier. But you'll see, I'll keep working with it and it all worked out. And it was so much easier to clean this little bowl as opposed to the food processor blades and the container that comes with the food processor. Now I will say this, if I'm making a lot of deviled eggs, like if we're having a family gathering for the holidays or something like that, I definitely do use the food processor. And what I do when I get it all together, the deviled egg part that I like, get it to the tang level that I like, seasoned the way I like, I will take a Ziploc bag, or you can use a sandwich bag, put the mixture inside of there, and then cut a little, make it into like a funnel, like a cone, and then cut a hole in the bottom, and then you squeeze the mixture into your eggshells, or not the eggshells, but the eggs that you've cut and have in your tray. It works so easy and it goes really fast if you're doing a lot, but I wasn't doing that many, so I'm going to end up just spooning it in there. And here's that secret ingredient. It's cream of tartar. I know it sounds weird, but my mom, in my opinion, and everybody's mom made the best everything, right? She made the best deviled eggs, and I've been making them for a few years, and I was like, man, I'm missing something. I can't do it like Mom used to do. And my sister told me that my mother used to put cream of tartar in there, and it's like, holy crow, man. And let me tell you something. And I didn't measure it because, again, this is something you just need to make to taste. That cream of tartar, that's a game changer. It does something. It talks to the mustard. It talks to the mayo, the salt, the pepper, the whatever. They love each other, and it's for me, that is the deviled egg, and that's the taste that I have been chasing from when my mom used to make them. So thank heavens my sister told me. I tried it, and it's amazing. And now I'm really working with the fork to soften it up to be a little bit creamier, because I can still see quite a few lumps in there. That wouldn't bother me eating it, but I'm going to be sharing this with my sister, and then we ended up giving some to my aunt. She's a deviled egg fiend, my aunt. So I wanted to get it as creamy as I could. So I'm just working it around, mashing the lumps up against the side of the bowl. And I love this. It's a heavy duty plastic bowl. It's lightweight, but it's thick plastic. It's sturdy, and that's why I call it heavy duty, and I love that thing. Now I'm just getting the spatula. I want to work some of the mixture down off the sides. So mix it together, and you can already tell now that it's a lot creamier than when I started. Not all, but some of those lumps are gone now. Now I'm giving it a taste test. My hands are clean. I'm never in the kitchen with dirty hands, and no one should be in the kitchen cooking for anybody with dirty hands. And I need some more mustard, because again, I want that tang. So I'm going to add some more mustard. A little bit more salt. And this is when I'm going to add the more pepper, because again, I want to be able to see the pepper in the food. And I know that sounds weird, because when you put the paprika on there, that's pretty much all you see, but if you look closely enough, you'll see the black pepper flakes as well. Now I'm just working it all through, and see how much creamier it is now. And that's just working with a fork. just to save myself the cleanup. If I can get in the kitchen and make anything and use as few utensils and equipment as possible, that's my goal. Get in, get out, don't make a big mess. Now I'm tasting it again with a different finger. And that's when I decide, I need a little bit more of that secret ingredient and a little bit more of the mustard. So I add a little bit more mustard. I will say this, and again, I'm going to put the Martha Stewart recipe in the description of this video. If you're doing 6 eggs and you follow her recipe, her measurements, it's a beautiful thing. It'll work out great, because one of the very first times I made it, I did that and it was good. But again, I have 2 more eggs, 2 more yolks, so I needed a little bit more of everything. Well, of the mustard and the secret ingredient, salt and the pepper. I didn't add any more mayo because it was creamy enough for me. So I'm just working it through a little bit more, but you can already tell the consistency is a lot creamier than when we started, because I had all those lumps from when I did not break the yolks up enough. But I mean, it's already really creamy. Tasting it one more time with a different finger. That's it. 2 thumbs up. Now to tidy up a little bit. Close up some of the containers. Wipe my hand off. Now it's just a matter of getting ready to spoon it in there. First I was going to use a fork and it's like, or the spatula, and I said, that's not going to work. So I ended up going to get a spoon to spoon the mixture into the eggs. But just look how creamy that is. Oh man, that's amazing. Now I'm just spooning it in there. And when I went to get the spoon, I did wash my hands a little bit too. Even more. I wiped them off, and then I said, no, I want to actually wash them too. With soap and water. Now, if you're a neat freak, making deviled eggs, your hands are going to get messy. So I warn you now. So if you're a neat freak, put on gloves. And I understand, I feel you. I don't like having nasty hands either. And I'm usually not as messy as I'm going to get with this, but late in the day I was tired, and and I had to use these eggs because they were going to go bad. They were set to expire, and I don't like wasting food, especially when you're paying $2 or $3 for a dozen or 18 eggs. And this was a 18. Look at that. Turned it all the way over, spilled it over. Again, I'm usually not this clumsy, not this messy, but when you're tired, things happen, right? So I'm going to switch this over so you guys can get a better look of what I'm doing with the filling of the eggs. And let me know in the comments, because I'm started to use my Samsung Galaxy phone to do my videos now. I did have a GoPro. Do not buy a GoPro for your YouTube videos. Again, do not buy a GoPro camera for your YouTube videos. They are horrible. Maybe if you're doing action, bike riding, running, racing, whatever, they're awesome. But for YouTube videos, they're awful. I think I'm going to do a review on them. I hate that I spent all the money on the one that I do have. I might maybe do a channel giveaway or sell it or something. I don't know. But yeah, my phone, and this is being filmed with my phone, and in my opinion, it looks even better than my earlier videos, which I know are awful. Everybody starts out awful when they start their YouTube channels, but the resolution for me is even better than the GoPro. And the download speeds are amazingly quicker. They're still slow with the phone, but it's a lot quicker than it is with the GoPro. I'm just getting everything out. Use that spatula. Whenever I'm cooking, I try to get as much, whatever the batter or mixture it is, out, because I don't like wasting food. Food prices are crazy, so I try to get as much as I can out and use it instead of, throwing it away, letting it go to waste. To wipe my hands again. Here's the last one, and of course, the last one is always the hardest to pick up, especially when you're tired. And I ended up, because I was getting a little worried the last 3 or 4, I'm like, wow, am I going to have enough of the filling? And it turns out I did. And whenever I make them, I do have a little bit left extra. So I go around and I look at them and say, hey, I think this egg needs a little bit more, or this one, or whatever. And that's what I'm getting ready to do now. But can I just tell you how proud I am looking at those eggs and that filling, from it coming to be so lumpy as it was when we started, to look how creamy they are. And I kid you not, if you've never put that cream of tartar in your deviled egg filling, you need to try it. And let me know if you do. Let us know by putting a comment, or if you already use it, tell everyone about it by leaving a comment, because I mean, it's just amazing. I'm telling you, those ingredients get to talking, and it's just amazing. And deviled eggs is one of those things, which I found out through the years, that they taste good the first day, but even better that second, third, or fourth day, if they last that long. Because like I said, my aunt, she's a deviled eggs fiend, eating them, and my sister and I are pretty close seconds and thirds to her. So, I mean, I made some for my aunt, it was a few months ago. And she came and picked them up, and she's driving home, and she didn't even get a good mile away. I gave her 6. She didn't get a good mile away, and she had eaten all 6 eggs while she was driving, and she had to pull over. I think she pulled over at a McDonald's to get a drink because she didn't have anything in the car, and now, her throat's all dry. She needs something to wash it down with. But that just tickled me. I'm like, you didn't even make it home? You didn't make it a mile away, and you ate all the deviled eggs? It just tickles me. And they're easy to make. This is, a really easy thing to make. But she won't make them. She will not make them. She'll wait for me to make them. Look, a mess. Oh, I was just... Even though my eggs are a thing of beauty, I hate the fact that I was just making a mess all on my hands, on my counter. It's just not a good thing. Now I'm trying to wipe up, because presentation counts. Whenever you're using seasoning, see how the paprika just fell out of there? Shake it up first, because sometimes stuff will settle, especially your liquid flavors, basically anything in the kitchen you're cooking with. Shake it up first and make sure you mix it back up together. Nothing is settled or separated. And we all know that mustard, if you don't do that and you shake it, to not just shake it, but you squeeze it to use it, it'll come out like mustard water. Nobody wants that. You want the mustard. And I'm 53 years old, and it was about, a month or 2 ago that I learned that paprika is just dried bell peppers. I did not know that. And I should have known, because it doesn't really have a taste to it, unless you get like smoked paprika. I have some of that, but I've not used it yet. You gotta use it one day. But there they are, and you see how easy that is. So if you've never made it and you're a little intimidated, trust me, they're easy to make. And to me, that's a thing of beauty right there. So I hope you try them. Leave a comment. Let me know if you try them with the cream of tartar. I'm telling you, it's a game changer. And I had to eat one. And look, I'm tired. I can barely eat it out, but I'm going to eat one for you guys. I got down to let you see. Look, just so good. It is just so good. I had to lean on the counter. Man, it's good. But again, made a mess with my fingers. I hate that, but it was good. It was worth it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.